Hello, hello, hello. Another Sunday here in the Valley. Welcome to the PHNX Tailgate, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, where if you place just $1 on any football game, you will get $150 in free bets just like that. Ladies, by using promo code PHNX. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to be here today.
Let's go.
We got a lot of stuff to get to. Let's roll the intro.
Shane Diefenbach, the Desert Canyon Elementary.
Johnny Venerable, Normal Community High School, Bloomington, Illinois.
Saul Bookman, Marcus Deniza High School, Tempe, Arizona. Go Padres.
How the Padres doing?
Oh, they're not doing so hot, man. Not doing so hot. They've kind of faltered. You know what? They were the only team that I can remember in history of everything to lose to Apache Junction. I don't recall anybody ever losing to Apache Junction. Sorry, Apache Junction peeps, if you're out there. It's just not our bag. But you know who is not losing to bad teams anymore is the ASU Sun Devils. And last night out in Pasadena, we got some clips. We got some highlights. Eventually they're going to roll at some point. The producer's trying to find. There we go. And there we go. And so last night, ASU handling business out in the Rose Bowl.
That block by Bunkley Shelton. It was so awesome to see Pearsall after this play. They cut to him on the sidelines, and he gave Bunkley Shelton props for that block. You don't see that
absolutely. And Jaden Daniels finally looking like the thrower of the ball we all thought he might be. He's had a little bit of an inconsistent start to the season, but last night they got the running game going. He was going. The whole team was going, especially in the second half. And ASU pretty much routes UCLA 42-24. Ransacks, like you said on your show. And we actually have a special guest joining us live from the middle of nowhere, Texas, the one, the only Mr. Matt Lively. Matt, what is going on, my friend?
What's going on, everybody? Good to be here. Johnny, Shane, you guys do a fantastic job. I'm sorry you're having to kick your Sunday morning off with Saul Bookman. Must be tough. But I just want to say my favorite pastime is seeing you fight on Twitter, Saul. There's nothing better.
I know, because you always try to set that up.
Always.
Regardless. Also, by the way, we need to start this show off. Sorry, just 1 second. With a shot, fellas. Let's get this started.
Dear God.
The ASU way, because I know this is a prereq for Sun Devils out there. So.
I wish I wasn't working today. I'd join you all.
Oh, God, dog.
Dude, last week I was fine. I actually was oh my God.
Get it together, man.
I know, I was so proud of myself.
What's wrong with you?
There's something in the air today.
I took a lot of shit earlier this week for how I chugged a beer in this
is
chair.
Number 2, man. We need to do a drinking class or
Everybody
something
better
like
get all the screen captures.
Relax.
Oh, my goodness.
I will drink you under the table.
I mean, let's be real. Like, Josh Kelman kind of called you out because remember when Trump was drinking with his hand underneath the bottle? That's what it looked like Johnny was doing.
That was too far.
Anyway, Matt, thank you for joining us. And yes, Matt always loves, you know what? I respect people who like to come back and forth, like me and Chancellor Johnson, another former ASU guy who's covering the Packers. That's why we didn't ask him to come on the show today. We usually go back and forth, but Matt, he can never seem to fight his own battles. He always has to ask for Chancellor to jump in the conversation. That's my only beef with this.
I come on here to fight the battles. There's something between you and Chance that I can't match that energy. Like, you two it's more personal and vindictive, and I just enjoy watching it.
He gets personal and vindictive every time.
Which makes you
all right,
personal
dude.
and vindictive.
Well, listen, man. First of all, like,
It sounds like it's working.
No, like, dude. First of all, if you're ever going to talk about Arizona football, you got to know something about me. I don't give a shit. Okay?
You're numb to it now.
I am so numb to it. Like, I don't even care. Who cares about the fact that we are the only school between the two to actually be to a New Year's Six bowl game in the last 25 years? You know what I mean? Like, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. We've never been to a Rose Bowl. I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. So anyway, it's always good fun. But let's be real now. Yesterday, this is the whole origin of this beef, right? I said that because Oregon lost, ASU fans all of a sudden felt like their window was open all of a sudden to go to the college football playoff. And I was here to tell everybody, calm down. That ain't happening. When we break this down, there's Georgia, there's Alabama.
That's it.
Right now,
That's it. That's all that should matter.
Those are the two locks right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
You would think those are the two locks. Outside of that, you got to think that the Big Ten winner has a legit chance because there's other competitive teams in the Big Ten. The ACC is out. They have no shot. The Big 12 is out unless Oklahoma somehow runs the table or Texas runs the table.
Gross. No.
Dude, if Texas runs the table, they only have one loss in the season. They'll beat some ranked opponents.
Didn't they get rolled in that one loss, though?
No.
If we keep talking about Texas, I'm actually going to throw
Arkansas.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm always going to root for Texas because my guy Bijan Robinson is my guy.
He's electric.
So, but outside of that, let's talk ASU. Let's talk about the realistic possibility that ASU, if they run the table and get to the college football playoff, or could get to the college football playoff, there's one team in the way, and that would be the Cincinnati Bearcats, because of their big win over Notre Dame. Yes, they don't have anybody else on the schedule, but it's a legit possibility that if they blow those teams out, they have the best win out of everybody. So, Matt, make a case for ASU.
Nothing would make me happier to see Cincinnati make the playoff. Like, that's just chaos at its finest. And to see Bama, Cincinnati, it'd just be funny to watch. Listen, I gave you crap. Do I see ASU, a Cinderella team, basically making the playoff? It's so unlikely. I mean, I want to make the case. I want to come on here and be like, hell yeah, I'm going to the Pac-12 championship with this team. But they still have to get through USC, Washington, Oregon State, who don't count out Oregon State. And now they've got Stanford on Friday. At least that's a home game. They just don't have enough ranked opponents in their way to make a case.
The funny thing about those four teams, Oregon State's probably the best of the four.
Correct.
Oh, like Oregon State's legit this year.
Dude, they're really good.
With a quarterback that threw for 48 yards last night and won the football game.
When you're talking USC and Washington, you're talking name brand only right now.
Yeah.
They're a shell of what their program used to be. Obviously with Washington losing to Eastern Washington at the beginning of the season, a very Arizona-esque loss, if you will. See, I can take it. I don't give a shit. So these teams are wildly inconsistent. Stanford beats Oregon without their best wide receiver and their quarterback, not really being who he is. It's just the Pac-12 is just a disaster.
Here's what I will say with regard to Cincinnati. We have seen this script before. UCF used to go undefeated all the time, and they had no business being in the Final Four, and they weren't put in the Final Four. So I don't think there's going to be an appetite to have Cincinnati.
But the problem is with UCF, they never had a marquee win like that. They never went on the road and beat a top 5 team.
If it was an SEC team, I would agree with you. But Notre Dame, fringe, Big Ten.
It's still Notre Dame.
Still UCF.
It's still Notre Dame.
UCF loved to win 13 games, not playing anybody, and then bitch to the CFP committee that they weren't in the Final Four. Like that's
they
like
would
what
get
they were
one
known
ranked
for.
opponent here and
Yeah,
there.
but it wasn't enough. And
you
got to
get up for 12 games for a season for me to take you seriously as one of the 4 best. And I look at their schedule: Tulane, Tulsa, Navy. That's not good enough.
Listen, Navy just as good as anybody in the lower third of the Pac-12. Let's be real about that. Same thing with UCF.
Is that a good standard to set though?
Well, I mean, hell, if you're going to talk about ASU, possibly being in the CFP, like you got to talk about
leaving out
talking about
BYU.
that, but yeah, I get that.
You're leaving out BYU, who's the Pac-12's daddy right now.
You're right. We did leave out BYU and you're 1,000% correct, Matt. Between Cincinnati and BYU, fuck the Big 10, fuck the Big 12, fuck the Pac-12. Let's just go a 14 playoff with BYU, Cincinnati, Alabama, and Georgia.
Chaos. We love chaos.
Yeah, we'll see Georgia and Alabama facing the national championship.
Because
I want to know who has the best opportunity to beat one of those two teams. That's the matchup I want to see.
An NFL team.
Arizona has the caliber of players to hang. Cincinnati does not. Neither does BYU.
Arizona State.
I was
going to say.
Bro,
that's disrespectful.
What? Dude, that's so disrespectful, man.
Hey, Arizona doesn't have the caliber of players to hang with most high school teams.
We can't even hang with NAU. What are you talking about? Like,
so did you consider putting pads on and going to try out?
No, I don't have any more eligibility. That's what I threw at Chancellor yesterday.
Oh, man.
And he was like, "Why don't you put on the pads and go walk on?" And I'm like, "Bruh, I used my eligibility in college, so I can't do that."
I'd pay money.
What's your excuse? You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
What was their last win? Do you remember their last win?
Arizona?
Yeah.
No, it's been 795,000 days.
Oh my god!
Oh, what JUCO college did you go to in the 70s?
That's cute. That's cute, Matt. That's cute, Matt.
I got to work with
How's
this guy
your
the
mom
rest
doing?
of the day. Stop
by the
it.
way, I haven't seen her in a while.
I've never met a woman of that class before. You never will. You're coming at me with a mom joke.
Are
What
you
is this?
disrespecting my fiance, who I'm getting married to here in about 2 months?
Hey, I'm sure she's. See, this is why you don't bring women into this. This is on you, man. Bring a mother into the talk.
Dude, you talk about the 70s. I was born in 79, okay? Right on the fringe of the 80s. I'm almost the 80s baby. So anyway, let's go back. You're out in Texas. Are you in the Waco area?
Yeah, I'm 10 minutes from McLean Stadium right now.
Okay. How's everything going out there? How's your transition been, and what's going on in your world? What are you seeing out there in Big 12 country?
Dude, it's good, man. Big 12 country is interesting because you come into the year, everybody had such high hopes for Iowa State, who shit the bed. Like, the sheets are ruined. Throw them out. And then Oklahoma. I mean, everybody wants to hate on Oklahoma and Texas because they're money hungry. But Texas, I mean, another really good game against TCU yesterday. I don't think they have a chance at making the playoff. Oklahoma is still undefeated, even if Spencer Rattler looks like the cocky kid he still was on QB1. Because I don't think he's that legit. But if they go undefeated, and maybe they have Baylor in their way, they still have Texas in their way. It's not Oklahoma State is still in their way, but like there's a good chance Oklahoma goes undefeated. I was going to ask you guys, between Iowa and Penn State, one of those two wins out, which would be crazy impressive because they still have each other to play. Penn State plays Iowa. Then they have Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State. One of those two wins out, and then you have an undefeated Sooners team. No way they aren't 3-4, right?
Yeah, true.
That'll happen.
Penn State, if they win out, they're in easily. I mean,
Penn State could arguably the second best team in the country if they beat Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Iowa.
And Auburn.
Oregon consistently screws the Pac-12.
And they took care of an SEC team. So, like, that old SEC bias, like, hey, we took care of business against your boys. So, I like Penn State a lot, for sure. But it's fun to talk about the Cinderella what-ifs and stuff like that. And college football, as we all know, is so topsy-turvy, and you just never know what you're going to get from week to week, especially in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And ASU, like to be like completely unbiased about this, right? ASU has forever had enough talent to compete at a high level in the Pac-12 and has habitually found ways to hurt themselves every single year. It's almost like a bad comedy. You know what I mean? It's like Meet the Parents all over again. Like, how do you F up this many times? Like, I don't understand that. And so that's kind of where I was coming from.
There's a long way to go before we talk about ASU being a one-loss team, about potentially being in the Final Four.
For sure.
Yeah.
They could easily be tripped up at any point.
But not only would ASU, because of the point you just made, because BYU might be undefeated, Cincinnati might be undefeated, and then also Penn State or Iowa possibly running the rest of the table. Like, not only does ASU have to win, they have to start getting in that mindset that they got to win big.
Yep.
And start dominating teams like they did last night. You know, you look at the box score of last night, you're like, wow, they took care of business. And that was probably the first time in a couple of years where you're like, that's the ASU everybody's been expecting. Where's that been?
Well, it's Herm. Herm doesn't play like that. Herm doesn't play for blowout wins. It's kind of what it's that NFL coaching
conservative
thing. It's his conservativeness, and it's just being super safe. And I mean, you've seen it come back to bite the Sun Devils with some really tough losses and some close games. That's why they're always playing close games.
It was evident last night watching that game that they had a superior talent edge to UCLA.
For sure.
And UCLA's 20 in the country right now. So that should tell everybody at home that this Arizona team at any given Saturday has an opportunity to compete and win at a high level in the Pac-12.
Arizona one more motherfucking
Arizona
time.
State has a high level.
Gosh.
They're still not disciplined enough either, by the way.
No.
Like the penalties last night, the first drive of the game on a 3rd and goal, like it's crazy. They came in, I think, second most penalties per game last night.
And the 3 illegal substitutions in the first half.
Yes.
Something changed in that second half for sure. But it was good for the Devils to play another self-sabotager because UCLA also had equal to it, or if not more, either dumb penalties like the unnecessary roughness on that 25-yard DTR run by the center was just bizarre. I mean, it was nice for Sun Devils fans to see that it's not just them. It's not just them doing it.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you joining us today on the PHNX Tailgate.
Anytime.
Hope everything's going well out there in Waco. and stay away from all the bad juju out there, because Waco is like one of those crazy cities, right? Isn't that where the Branch Davidians were at and stuff like
Correct.
that? Ooh.
Yeah.
Right on the outside, man. I'm getting recruited every day to come on out and see if I can be a man of faith out here in the country.
Hey, if things starts going south, you got a backup plan.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, okay?
Yeah.
All right,
good.
buddy. Take care.
All right, guys.
See you, man.
Later, Matt.
All right, that's Matt Lively coming to us live from Texas. And
What are they saying?
oh yeah, Arizona State. Yeah,
It's because Johnny's the NFL guy.
Yeah,
I know
sure
what I'm talking about. I just sound like Joe Buck with hair plugs today because my voice is going. But come. You know where I'm going with it. All right. You know who I'm referring to.
It's very ESPN of you, Johnny, to confuse Arizona and Arizona State. But we apologize, Doug. I have got my man in check. This will not happen again.
I will be reprimanded after the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Saul's got to switch.
We will be taking some ducats out of his check for sure. But hey, pitch the tent. As you didn't know, if you did know that we were here in the first section, that was actually the first segment. That was pitch the tent. But we talk about things that get us excited. ASU got us excited. Anything else get you guys excited about this last weekend?
Urban Meyer.
Stop taking my shit, man. I sent that to Shane yesterday. He was prepping for the ASU game, and I said, "Have you seen what Urban Meyer's doing at a local bar in Columbus, Ohio?" He's like, "No." And so I sent him the video. He's like, "This can't be real." I'm like, "Oh, it's real.
Let's run that video.
It's real. Cue it up, Leah."
Oh, Urban!
Look at his. Oh my God. So there are probably hundreds of people in that bar, and Urban is YOLO. I don't give a fuck mode after starting 0-4 with the Jaguars. I love to see it I don't love to see it from a family perspective. I'm a family man. I have kids. But at the same time, it's like Shad Khan is paying me millions of dollars, right? I'm 0-4 in the AFC South. I'm going to go out in Columbus where I'm a fucking god, and I'm just going to dabble in some of the talent.
Oh, man. Woo.
The worst part about it is in a tweet about 24 hours prior, his wife was tweeting out that Urban deserved to go out and basically have a night out with the boys. He deserved it, right? He's kind of burnt out. And then all that starts to circulate. Trying to find that video this morning, by the way, was incredibly difficult.
Urban's team's doing some scrubbing. You know what I think might have happened? Maybe he got too drunk and thought that was Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, my goodness. Really? That's where we're going to go right now with this?
What? Trevor Lawrence has long hair.
It's a very attractive
I didn't go anywhere.
Very attractive man.
Well, regardless of what happens, hopefully my guy takes care of the nether regions, as we know, because, it's scandalous to be too convoluted down there. So, make sure you use Manscaped.
I was going to say that better be a transition.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah. I mean, what else would we be talking about? Manscaped, take care of your balls because they take care of you. And right now, if you use Manscaped, then you can also get some cool products.
That's right.
So
really nice.
They got the Lawnmower 4.0. They got some body wash. They got this spritz. It's called like a ball refresher.
Yeah. Crop Reviver.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. The Reviver. You know what I mean? So if your boys are feeling a little down, pick them right back up.
I'm not trying to look like the Wolfman this Halloween for the first time in a long time, and I'm just using that trimmer all over my body, and things are going really well.
My goodness.
The good thing about that, I know how dark it is in your life with your family gone right now, so it might be dark in the house, and they have that LED light on that
True.
thing, so it works really well. Last night on the
I do have electricity.
last night on the ASU show, my brain is wired when I'm reading the DraftKings ad to say it's super fun. Like, that's just something I always say because it is super fun. But I said it during the Manscaped ad, so I was like, Manscaped, it's super fun. And then I paused. I was like, hold on. Well, it kind of is super fun with the light because you can get places.
They also got the Nick technology.
Yeah.
And if you've ever used clippers before and you use them too close, like that is painful.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And so they got the Nick technologies to where you can minimize that very much. And like I said, right now, get 20% off of free shipping plus free shipping with the code PHNX at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with the code PHNX. Keep your balls trimmed, fresh, and clean with Manscaped. You know what's so funny is when I first met my fiance, we were dating for a little bit, and we hadn't done anything yet, if you know what I'm saying. And we went to church, and out of nowhere, she's like, "Hey, Just curious, like, do you take care of there downstairs?
At church?
Yeah, at church.
Did you talk to God after?
I think she was feeling like kind of, whatever, like sacrilegious.
Spiritual?
I feel like she probably thought she'd get an honest answer from
You
you.
didn't hear that. You didn't hear the punchline.
Sacrilegious.
She was feeling
Wow.
sacrilegious.
Saul, come on now.
That was a good one.
That was a
But you
really-
guys talked right over the punchline, man. Damn it. I set that up for like all week, ready to say it.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
There it is. Oh,
that
well.
was so good.
Next segment. Let's just fucking roll it.
I'm baptized. I'm not religious. I'm sorry.
Survey says Cerveza. Oh, my
Why'd you have
gosh.
to- Why'd you have to bring in the fact that you're baptized?
Well,
I'm baptized too, but
I am.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, so Survey says Cervezas. That's when we bring in our trusty producer, Leah, to talk about whatever's on her mind and ask us nonsensical questions, which I'm sure she's about to do.
Can I call her out real quick?
Sure.
She texted me last night asking what she should do for this, and I was like, I'm the talent. This is your job.
Oh, big time in her, huh?
Talent, pulling out the talent card.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
have, yeah. All right. I don't have much talent.
You should
but-
just be grateful that I wanted your input.
There we go.
All right.
All right. What you got for us today? Leah?
So, because I was just trying to brainstorm and we're talking about Survey Says, I was like, let's just play good old fashioned Family Feud.
Yes.
Let's
Wow.
do it.
Yes.
And I just chose 3 random ones. But the way we're going to do this is we have to go one at a time, just like they do on Family
Okay.
Feud. So it's October, Halloween is coming. The first category, there's 8 answers.
Okay.
Name something associated with vampires. Shane, we'll start with you.
Blood.
All right, that's on the board. That's number 2.
What?
Ooh. My turn?
Saul.
Bite.
Brr. Do you like my sound effects?
That was a buzzer, right? That wasn't you?
Yeah, you should burr. What the hell was that? It's like a drunk cow. It's like a drunk cow out there in the middle of the field. Burr.
Oh
We need
my
the taboo
God.
buzzer.
We have one in the other studio.
Leah, I'll go crucifix.
Bro,
Whoa.
why wouldn't you say? Okay, let me guess number 1. Fangs or bat?
You can't say 2. You have to pick
Was
one.
I wrong?
Things should be bite.
I'm crying.
Garlic.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, garlic is on there. It's number 3. And I'm going to let someone in the chat play along. They said fangs. Great job. That's also on there.
I would have given it to you.
All right.
That's what the hell do I bite with? Yeah.
All right.
What's number 1?
Do you want to keep trying or you want to know the list?
I want to keep going.
I'll say steak.
Bro.
Brr.
Steak?
Like a steak to the heart.
That's
Oh,
what a
okay.
crucifix is. Yeah.
No.
No, you don't kill a vampire with a
Bat?
crucifix.
Is
Like
bat
a
one of them?
Like a
Yes.
shiv.
Bat is one of them.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, there's 3 more on there that you guys
Oh my
didn't get.
goodness.
Coffin.
Nope.
What?
Cape.
Yes. 2 more.
Dracula?
Yes.
Sucking
Let's go.
sucking blood.
I already said blood.
No, yeah, blood and bloodsuckers.
Have we not gotten the number 1 yet?
You have not gotten the number 1.
How did we not get to number 1 yet?
Transylvania?
Nope.
Nosferatu.
It's something a little not obscure, but it's like a different perspective on vampires.
Daylight.
No.
Oh, different perspective.
Oh, reflection.
No.
I don't know.
Perspective.
All right,
like-
just let's
yeah,
move
what
on.
is it?
What is this?
Twilight.
Oh,
Oh
So
my
I was close. That was
gosh.
close.
no, the movie.
Oh,
That's
the
not
movie
even
Twilight.
Ridiculous.
Well done, well
What do
done.
they say?
I love how mad they get when they're wrong.
Yeah, we're fucking mad. We're trying to be better.
Jesus,
man.
Karch, why don't you pitch in and help us out?
All right, next one, and this one, I love this category.
Okay.
There's 8 answers. Name something a baker might call his wife.
Go ahead.
Name something in a bakery a baker might call his wife.
Sweet buns.
Sugar muffin.
All right, you both are onto something, but
Cupcake.
yes.
Oh.
You Johnny and Saul were onto it, but you need to
Sweet
be more
buns.
specific.
Sugar buns. Honey buns.
Sugar.
Honey buns was number 1.
Woohoo!
Honey buns is number 1. Nice.
Sugar was sugar's on there.
Honey?
Oh my God, these
Honey?
comments.
What were some of the comments? Let's see the comments.
Sugar tits.
No, take that down. Oh man, what else is out there?
Confectioner sugar.
Shane, Shane.
Hey, confectioner sugar.
I don't even know
What
what
you
that
make
means.
for dinner?
Did you get honey?
Honey's not on there.
Ooh.
So cupcake,
Cupcake,
Sugar.
honey buns,
honey buns, sugar.
sugar.
What else do we got? Go ahead and just read them off.
All right. Okay, this one's so
Cake
weird.
batter.
I don't know why this is number 2. His oven.
That's what I call my wife.
Why? Oh, I'm not even gonna say it.
Okay.
Muffin.
Because
Eat
it's
it.
warm
Heat
inside.
up that oven.
Muffin. Donut. I don't know who calls their wife donut.
Oh,
Gordon-
man,
Gordon
I'm pretty
Ramsay,
sure,
probably?
I'm pretty sure I get slapped if I called my.
Okay, and
hey,
this one.
Hey, donut.
No, you want to really get slapped? Doughy.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, just don't call her yeasty.
Oh my.
So we're
I feel sickly.
Or moist.
moist, yeah.
Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Okay. What's the next
All right,
category?
last category. And this one's going to piss you guys off, I already know. Name a food you might lick.
Bro.
I might or I
ice
will.
cream, ice cream cone.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Popsicle.
Boom.
Popsicle's number 4. There's 5, by the
So
way.
what happened
Sucker.
what happened to going in
No.
order? This is chaos.
It's-
Oh yeah. I'm
Sorry.
Popsicle
I have
ice
no
cream
answer.
we've done already.
Yeah. Let
All right, Shane.
Let the crybaby have it.
Let Little Bo Peep go. Give me mashed potatoes.
No.
Lick mashed potatoes.
I don't have an answer.
What is wrong with you?
A what?
Oh my god.
Okay, Ransom said
Can we get
steak.
BetterHelp as a
Don't know why.
sponsor?
Steak. You lick steak.
Okay, but Marcel will give him one. Lollipop is number
Nice.
2. So there's
Dude, do you know what a sucker is?
Holy shit.
Is a
so?
sucker and a lollipop not the same thing?
No.
It is.
Dum Dum Sucker and then a lollipop is the round one.
When's the last time you saw somebody walking around with a damn lollipop?
This morning. That's my idea in my house this morning before I came in.
You are
Was that the
really
same-
falling apart.
Is that
huh?
the same girl that was with Urban Meyer? What is going on
Get
today?
out of this one too.
All right.
Oh my
well,
god.
that
Good-
was
good
cool.
game, everyone.
What else is on there?
Oh, well,
Did you-
these two are annoying because
Whipped
they're
cream.
not foods,
Whipped
but
cream?
they're not foods, but they're on here. Stamp and envelope,
okay.
but that's not food.
Those aren't
so.
foods. Yeah. All right. That's cool. That's cool.
Anyway, good
well,
job.
man, if I had odds on that, I absolutely would have gone bankrupt on that. So it is what it is. But speaking of odds, obviously, DraftKings Sportsbook, if you use promo code PHNX right now, you can get, by just placing $1 on any football bet, you can get $150 worth of free bets by using promo code PHNX.
I wish I still had mine.
Yeah, I've kind of burned through mine already.
Fresno
Mine
State
were gone
killed
quickly.
me last night.
Yeah.
I was going into the show. They were up by 14. I needed them to cover by 10.5. And I checked the score like 45 minutes into my show. And I'm just like dumbfounded because they lost by 3. I thought it was a complete lock and tragically lost me $200. I didn't bet $200 on Fresno State. I would have won $200 on like a $10 bet. But
Who they play?
Hawaii.
Ooh.
Todd Graham, ex-ASU football
Who
coach.
comes back to get you again.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of we have a lot of bets that we're going to talk about in the next segment as well. But DraftKings Sportsbook. I was wearing the DraftKings gear that they fortunately sent us, which we appreciate very much. Thank you, DraftKings. And when I was down in Tucson, there was a lot of people on the street on 4th Ave when I was walking down that were stopping me and asking me more about DraftKings. They're like, hey, so I hear about it. I see it everywhere. How do I get started? So I would just pull up the app and show them and say, hey, this is very user intuitive. It's very easy to use. Kind of teach them a little bit about the bets, what they mean, what an in-game parlay is and stuff like that. And dude, people really, really love to gamble, but
Yeah.
they also like free money to gamble with,
I like free. Yeah.
which is always good. And so
You're like one of those cars or vans that drive around Vegas promoting strip clubs, but in human form.
yeah, basically,
Nice.
basically. Except I'm not on the corner slapping my pants.
Dude, I used to collect those cars and we'd trade them.
Gosh, Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. Anyway, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code PHNX to receive $150 in free bets instantly when you place $1 bet on any football game. That's promo code PHNX to get $150 in free bets instantly. 21 and over, or you got a gambling problem, 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit, $1 wager required. Eligibility restrictions apply. Shane, shut the hell up. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. let's go to the next segment, please. Hey, tap that app. We just mentioned DraftKings. This is basically an entire 20 minutes of DraftKings stuff, which
Love it.
is fun. It's fun. And so we go into our prop, lock, and drop it. This is when we're going to talk about what props we like, what locks we like, and then what we want to stay the hell away from. Johnny, we'll start with you. What props do you like this week?
I like James Conner today. Arizona Cardinal running back had a really good fourth quarter against Jacksonville, up against a Ram run defense that's okay. And his prop, 28.5 rushing yards. I think he hits that easily. Might hit that by halftime. I think the LA Ram defense is going to give the Cardinals ample opportunities to run the football, and they're going to try to attempt to get Kyler Murray to make a mistake. Kyler Murray in the Cardinal offense wants to hit the big play. I don't know what's going to be there today. You're going to need to see 9 to 10 play methodical drives. And I think James Conner in between the tackles, getting his shoulder square, that's an easy one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Shade?
I like J.D. McKissick, Washington football team running back, behind Antonio Gibson to go over 8.5 rushing yards. He's gotten 4 or 5 attempts each game, but they're playing the Falcons. I think they're like 26th in rush DVOA. They're terrible against the run. And I think he's going to reach that pretty easily. He looked like the number one back in that game against the Giants for a couple drives. They kind of switch him out. So I think it just takes one play and he's there. So 8.5, J.D. McKissick over.
I am all in on the in-game parlay for the Bills-Texans game. I have Houston to cover the 18-point spread. I think 18 in the NFL is crazy high. You rarely get that. I like the Texans out. As awful as they are, they have been playing pretty well for the most part.
And Davis Mills' neck is very long.
And they've been very competitive, so you got to give them that. Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, which I like. And then Josh Allen as well, over 229.5 yards passing. I like that. And Davis Mills to throw for over 149 yards. That might be my most risky part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I still like it because if it is a blowout, he's going to throw the ball. And, hey, I like those odds. I like that in-game parlay as a prop. So here we go.
I rode the Davis Mills over passing yards train on that game against the Panthers. And
how'd that work out for you?
It didn't work because everyone was so excited. It got up to like 215, and a guy with that long of a neck and that floppy of an arm can't throw that much.
All right, well, let me transition to my lock of the week.
Yeah.
I've pivoted, and I'm going to go Detroit +3 at the Chicago Bears.
Love it.
Bears team, they're ready to fire Matt Nagy. They didn't name a starter until just last night. Justin Fields is going to start for Chicago. Detroit's been playing some good football. They should have won last week against
football.
Inspired, biting off kneecaps with our guy Man Campbell. Jared Goff's been playing better than people think. I think they win handedly today. I like them on the money line, but for this segment, +3 at Chicago, where Matt Nagy could be fired by Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, yeah, my lock is Houston +18. I just don't think that they're going to lose by 18. I think they're going to be competitive. They're going to keep it not close, but they're not going to get blown out of the water.
I think they might keep it close. I don't like what the Bills have been doing. Their offense is just it's the same thing every single week.
I think they're a little complacent. They're ready to play Kansas City again.
Yeah. I think they might be looking ahead.
And Kansas City's not even looking that great either.
No.
So it's like if you play Kansas City and you beat Kansas City, I wouldn't take too much away from that because they're not playing at the top of their game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's defense is one of the worst in the NFL.
Correct.
Like,
their linebackers are terrible.
They can't stop a nosebleed for anything. So, yeah, that's my lock.
I've been saying this all week. I've said this. This will now be the 4th show where this is my pick. But it's the Packers -6. It moved from 6.5 to 6. I think it was at 7 a couple days ago. I don't know why people are putting money on the Steelers. My reasoning is
Tomlin is an underdog. That's why.
Okay, but their offensive coordinator is Matt Canada, and
their quarterback is Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. As I've been saying this whole week, Matt Canada said that they're not changing anything this week on offense, which is
smart.
a huge mistake because they
Smart.
because you on the bet show
Smart.
you asked me who Matt Canada even was. So I don't want to hear it from you, Johnny. He said that they're not changing anything, which is
I
a
love
huge
Canadians.
mistake.
I love Canada and Canadians.
Can I? No. Yeah, -6 Packers. Give me that all day. I'm gonna go home and just think about everything that I've been talking about on the show, and just think. I'm just gonna think about my life. Go back 24
I blame
years.
you for losing my voice because I've been yelling at all your terrible takes all week on PHNX Daily Bets.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go home, make an Excel spreadsheet, and find our record. And I guarantee mine's better than yours.
A viewer just said that they trust your mustache, so I guess you're good there.
Nice.
Also, so moving on to the drops of the week, I'm going to combat your Lions pick.
Don't do it.
My drop is the Bears.
Yes.
At -2.5. I don't trust the Bears for shit. I don't think that they're going to do very well. The way they set up Justin Fields last week to fail was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They had 43 freaking offensive plays and produced 47 yards. What
We got
in
sacked,
the
what,
hell
9 times?
are we doing out here in Chicago?
Quitting.
The McCaskies also, by the way, will never fire a coach midseason. So you're stuck with Matt Nagy until 2022.
Hope not.
That's what's going to happen. Mark it down. They're not going to fire him midseason unless Justin Fields goes out there, snaps his femur. They put him back out there, and he snaps his other femur. And then they start to think,
Wentz style, two
maybe-
broken ankles.
maybe we shouldn't put this guy out there twice. So yeah, don't trust Chicago. Don't take those points. Run away from that as far and as fast as you can.
I'm shocked so many people are on the Jets this week, +5.5 against the Tennessee Titans hosting. I know Tennessee's missing Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. The Jets are the worst team in the NFL. They're starting a babyface quarterback who looks like he should be playing high school football in Zach Wilson.
In many different ways.
I think the Titans still roll with Derrick Henry. Robert Saul looks like he's in over his head as a head coach right now. I like what Jacksonville and Urban are doing, not Monday through Saturday, but on Sundays. I think they look competitive. The Jets are not competitive. They're a dumpster fire. They lack talent. Wilson is completely overwhelmed. I think Tennessee rolls. I would stay away from that game altogether, though, because, again, you're missing your top 2 wideouts, and then the Jets are the Jets. It's just not something I'd feel comfortable touching.
You're not all in on the Corey Davis revenge game?
No.
I'm not either.
Corey Davis is like, I got my money.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't like that game either. My drop is the Seahawks-Niners game. I have no idea what's going to happen. The line has moved to almost a pick 'em now.
Yeah.
In San Francisco, that Seattle defense has so many problems. The same thing happened last year where they had that, they were running the Tampa 2 for so long, and then the 3 high shell they were doing, and then they started rotating their corners back and forth, and then now they're like, should we just go back to what we were doing? And it's Pete Carroll. He's stubborn. He doesn't know what to do with that defense. And then on the other side of the ball, Jimmy Garoppolo. So I like, that's all you have to say. They're banged up too. So it's going to be a Jimmy G versus a bad defense. And who knows what's going to happen. So I'm not touching that game. I think Russell Wilson, being Russell Wilson, that's the only advantage that game has.
It's the movable object against the stoppable force.
Yeah. But usually when it's a game like that, I choose the better quarterback. So I think Seattle does win this game, but still I'm staying away.
I mean, it's a good game to watch, and that's a big game in the NFC West.
Also, one more tidbit: Russell Wilson has never lost 3 straight games. So
also Russell Wilson is, I think he's 16-3 against the Niners all time, 15-4. Sorry, 15-4 all time against.
He's
the
not
Niners.
losing today.
Man, it's gonna be tough for him to lose, but they haven't looked good at all.
That defense is so bad.
Yeah, they're especially in the second half of these games, for whatever reason, they just fall apart.
Yep.
So who knows? Again, you've heard all this stuff. Again, DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code PHNX. Place $1 on any football bet, and you will get $150 in free bets by using promo code PHNX. It's fun. It's easy. It's intuitive. Like, it's just
get your betting on.
Good old
baby.
family fun.
That's right.
That's right.
My kids love it.
Family fun. Kids love it. Speaking. Also, by the way, we should plug Johnny and his written content on the site. Please go check that out at gophnx.com. A lot of great content out there. If you're a Coyotes fan, Suns fan, Cardinals, D-backs.
Or just a Johnny fan.
Yeah, or just a Johnny
I'm
fan.
a Johnny
Shane
fan.
called my articles not safe for work or something earlier this week. That's not the case. They're very family friendly.
Yeah, you can read them out loud to your kids and put them to sleep for sure. I wasn't saying that disrespectfully.
That sentence went sideways real quick.
You gotta read it. You gotta read them a bedtime story at some point.
That's right.
Dad, right?
Talk to him about how Kyler Murray's, about to make his claim on the NFC West.
Sweetheart, we hate Sean McVay. Okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
That's it. You gotta teach them early and often. But yeah, check out gophnx.com. Also, we have a lot of swag out there. We're dropping new merch seemingly every week. This week we dropped a couple ASU
Get
and
on
U
the
of A
ASU
shirts.
bandwagon, baby.
A lot of those shirts that have dropped. We got a Kyler Murray shirt that's out there, or not Kyler Murray shirt. I'm sorry, an Arizona Cardinals shirt, Rise Up Red Sea shirt. It's pretty dope. Check it out. We got more stuff coming. We got some stuff that we're going to drop on Tuesday. If you're not aware, we got the Sunny Awards coming for the Sun Show. That's on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We have a drop coming out on that night. So a lot of cool stuff going on. Plus, we just want you to be a part of the family. So just come, join us, have a good time, and be a part of the PHNX movement, because it definitely is an inclusive environment where we all just rock Arizona sports and love each other for it.
That's right. And it starts this afternoon, Cardinals at Rams.
There it is. So let's move on to that next segment, baby. The fourth quarter. Get off my lawn. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to talk about today's game of the day. And it just so happens that it is this team that is featured right here on our table. It is the Arizona Cardinals going to Los Angeles to face the Rams. Probably the biggest game since the Cardinals had an opportunity to be in the playoffs, I would say. I can't recall a bigger game than this in recent memory. And because of everything that's on the line, this is more not just because of the talent on both sides of the ball, but I think from a mental standpoint for this Cardinals team to prove to themselves that they are a legit contender, whether that be an NFC West title, NFC title, or Super Bowl title, they got to beat the Rams.
It's like when Steph Curry hits 4 unbelievable threes in a row and he goes for the heat check. This is the Cardinals heat check. If they win this game, they're going to be the real deal. This is when they prove that they're a legit team.
I'm going to bring up this point because I think it's a good one, and I made it on our Friday show. It bears repeating. Anybody in this room would have taken a 3-1 start. So I'm going to put that as a caveat. And you go from not making the playoffs last year to, I hope they make the playoffs this year. You beat the Rams. That puts you in a different category.
For sure.
That puts you in Super Bowl aspiration category. I'm not sure anybody on this panel thought that of the Cardinals before the season started. So I want to make sure we're all level-headed going into this game. That's
a great point.
I expect them to play well. I told Saul before the show, I don't have a great feeling one way or the other in terms of whether or not I think they can win it. The public bet heavy on the Cardinals to begin the week. So right now you can get it probably 4.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook. That tells you that one possession game likely coming down to the fourth quarter. This is a litmus test for a franchise that does not have a signature win, by and large, since Murray and company took over in Arizona. Would that be a signature win this early in the season? I would say yes. But even a competitive loss, and we're not into moral victories here, I think would be something to build off of. But again, the Rams are the class in the NFL. And so to go into their building and make a statement, it would put the Cardinals in a different stratosphere nationally.
The line right now is 3.5. I will say this. If I was not an invested observer of the Cardinals, on paper, based on the way they played in the first 3 weeks of the season, this seems like a mismatch. It does, because the Cardinals should not have beaten the Vikings. They struggled against the Jaguars for the most part through 3 quarters last week. Game 1, you gotta give it to them. They dominated the Titans. That wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And so you're wondering, which Cardinals team is going to show up. They've been fortunate. The same thing. Like you look across the board. You look at like a team like Kansas City, who has all the talent in the world. They should be favored in every game, but they're 1-2 this season because those breaks have not gone their way.
Yep.
And so the Cardinals could easily be 1-2 right now, and we'd be talking about a different story about, oh man, they're going on the road to play at Los Angeles, whatever. But hey, a win is a win. And I think this Cardinals team needs to beat the Rams to prove that those first 3 games were not only not a fluke, but also worthy of championship aspirations, because I can assure you the MVP conversation is going to skyrocket if Kyler Murray has a great game.
He'll be the clear favorite.
And they beat the LA Rams, because the other clear favorite for the MVP right now is on the other side of the ball with one Mr. Matthew Stafford,
correct,
who's thrown 9 touchdowns, 1 pick, and everybody's looking at that team as the favorite for the Super Bowl right now.
Well, let me just say this. The Chiefs, as talented as they are, have problems on defense. I think the Cardinals are, for the first time in so long, are talented on every single level. They have
agree with you.
Really good skill players on every single level, defense and offense. Johnny, where do you think the biggest battle and the most pivotal battle is going to come? Is it going to come in the secondary for the Cardinals?
No.
Where is it going to come?
It's going to come Cardinal offensive line. They're banged up. They're missing potentially 1 or 2 key starters against the Ram defensive line.
We haven't found out if Beacham's going to play, right?
We don't. We will know 90 minutes before with the inactives. I don't expect him to play. I think more so it's, can Justin Murray hang at right tackle? Is Justin Pugh healthy enough to play left guard? That, to me, is always the story when you're going up against Aaron Donald. I like the Cardinals' DBs fine in this game. I would say probably as a cheat answer, both lines of scrimmage. Where's Chandler Jones been the last 2 weeks? Where's J.J. Watt? You're paying him $20+ million in guarantees. They got to make Matthew Stafford uncomfortable. And then on the flip side, can the Cardinal line keep Kyler Murray upright? They win both of those battles, they're going to win this game.
The weird thing I've been seeing is how good Kyler Murray is when he is getting blitzed, but bad when he's not getting blitzed. There's a discrepancy in numbers. So the Rams would be smart not to blitz him.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I think the Rams are going to drop 2 single high safeties, and they're going to say, beat us with 5 and 7 yard plays. Dink and dunk your way down because we feel like you'll make a mistake.
And Kyler Murray gets impatient.
You'll force the ball. You'll turn the ball over. He's up there. He's like Big Mac. He's looking to hit a bomb, right? He wants the big play. And today is not that day.
Remember we talked about Malcolm Butler when he said he was retiring or whatever, or just didn't show up anymore. Everybody kind of panicked a little bit.
Yeah.
That the Cardinals right now, I think according to Pro Football Focus, I think that's the rating, have the 3rd ranked secondary in the NFL. They have played up to par in the secondary. The difference is today the Rams, their running game could be hit or miss because they are banged up in the backfield. So Stafford's going to throw the ball. Here it is. If Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, and company can't get to Matthew Stafford, the Rams are going to win.
It's over.
It's over. The Rams are going to win. Like there's no stopping them because when you look at the strengths of both sides of the ball for both teams, I would say that the Cardinals' offense is equal to the Rams' defense. But on the other side of the ball, the Rams' offense could be far better than the Cardinals' defense if they can't get a pass rush. If they get a pass rush, I think it's neutralized, and then it's a completely different ball game, and that's why the 3.5 spread comes into play.
Left tackle for the Rams, Andre Whitworth, is 39 years old. That's who Chandler Jones is going up against today.
But he's so good.
He's had his number. If Chandler Jones wants the bag from Michael Bidwell and company, you want to be paid big-time money, you cannot be dominated by an almost 40-year-old left tackle. That's as simple as it is. You have to get pressure today. This is what we pay star players to do. You can get 5 sacks to start the year. That's great. That's an inflated number. You have to be more consistent. And I put a stat out there on Twitter, and we talked about it earlier this week. Chandler is sackless in 6 of his last 8 games going back to the start of last season. That can't happen. Yeah. You have to be more consistent. I got people telling me on Twitter, it's not just about sacks. It's about hurries. It's about pressures. You got to get in Stafford's face and make him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You got to bring Simmons off the edge and Budda Baker. If you sit back and say, I'm going to rush 4, they're going to get beat. You can't do that.
You got to speed up his internal clock.
Yep.
That's what this all boils down to. Yep. As a quarterback, when you drop back to pass and you think you have about 3, 4, maybe even 5 seconds, there's a certain level of comfort that you have in to be able to go through your progressions, in a timely manner. When that clock gets sped up to 2 to 3 seconds, all of a sudden you're forcing balls into tight windows, you're overthrowing players, and things kind of go chaotic, and that's when the defense can capitalize on those things. And as a secondary and even a linebacking core who's going to have to cover Higbee in open spaces as well, like Isaiah Simmons, I'm sure is going to be matched up on him from time to time. Like you have to be able to see that the rush is being effective enough to play tighter on your man because you don't have to hold on to him for too long. If I have to give max effort for 7 seconds, cool. If I have to give max effort for 10 seconds, we're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, though, the pressure is huge, and I do agree they'll be in a much better spot. But McVay is such a genius with all of the moving parts on that offense that I think if they consistently can get pressure, if Chandler Jones is beating Whitworth, they're going to switch it up. Robert Woods is going to come in motion. Something's going to happen with Cooper Kupp, and then there's going to be
players open. There's no doubt about that.
So I don't think the pressure is the end all be all of this game, but I think it's a huge part of the game.
Listen,
I think they get blown out if they don't get pressure.
This all boils down to 2 people: Sean McVay, Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is completely outmatched every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time he matches up against Sean McVay, he's been overwhelmed. And he hasn't been close really in any game except for maybe last year in the last game of the season. And that's just because both teams had garbage quarterbacks that couldn't really do anything offensively. That's the only reason why they were close. That's it. Outside of that, it hasn't even been close. Cliff Kingsbury needs this for validation for what he has been doing in Arizona. This whole mantra about Cliff doesn't know what he's doing because he's an air raid coach and blah, blah, blah. That's just people that don't watch the Cardinals enough to understand that it's not really an air raid offense.
No.
Like, they don't drop back 75 times a game and just let it launch. You know, they're the first season that they were that Cliff was here, they dominated running the ball with Kenyon Drake that the latter half of that season. Like, so he's shown the propensity to be able to adapt to whatever the personnel he has is. He needs to take that next step and not only adapt, but also take them to another level like McVay has done this entire time with the Rams. And for that, this is the PHNX Tailgate. We appreciate you joining us this Sunday morning. Enjoy all the action out there. And please hit us up on Twitter if you have any other questions. Prop bets, Johnny will be on the Twitterverse all day. So will Shane, and so will I. We love you. We appreciate you. Till next week, we'll see you then.